'Twas the week before Christmas, and I at my desk was wrapping things up before my holiday rest. When I opened my inbox, and to my dismay, I found 10 new client requests, all due by Friday. It's the most wonderful time of the year, said no one in the past decade, it feels like. Instead of basking in the holiday magic, I hear more people lamenting about how stressful this season can be, which is really quite tragic. Okay, promise I'm not going to rhyme anymore. But it really is sad. A lot of people have a certain picture hanging on their brain wall of a beautiful, exciting, indulgent, restful end of year celebration. Nice little payoff to the 51 weeks leading up to the holidays. And sure, we expect to have to push a little harder in the home stretch to make sure everything is buttoned up at work before we close down for a few days and everything is wrapped up and under the tree at home. But too often, that extra push turns into a full-blown crush. And in all the hustle and bustle and running around, we accidentally bump into that picture, knock it to the ground, and it gets all cracked and bent out of shape, and we're left feeling stressed out and disappointed. So how do we, especially as solopreneurs and small business owners who always have our fair share of plates spinning at any given moment, how do we make sure we can actually unwind this week and not completely unravel? A couple of years ago, I invited my friend and fellow solopreneur MJ to the show, and she shared a lot of great advice for navigating this season. The full interview is worth a watch, but weren't we just talking about how busy we all are right now? So here's a quick rundown of 5 tips to avoid end-of-year burnout, or any time of year burnout for that matter. Tip number 1, have a family meeting. MJ shared a great practice that her family follows every year. They sit down before the holiday chaos sets in, and they decide together what traditions and activities are truly important to them. Then they can make a plan to prioritize and protect those things. This takes the pressure off having to figure out how you're going to cram all the parties, light shows, cookie exchanges, cantatas, along with last-minute client requests into your calendar. Sure, there will still be things that pop up, and you're going to have to make some decisions on the fly, but now you have a game plan. And you don't need to renegotiate and completely re-puzzle piece your schedule back together with every new invitation you get. You already know where you and your family stand. Also, when you're clear and committed to what matters most, you can let go of the guilt that comes with saying no to the other things. Which leads us to tip number 2. Make a don't do list. This is one of my favorite takeaways from the interview. We all have to-do lists, but instead of getting swept up and discouraged by the never-ending list of things we need to do, take a hard look at what's stealing your time and energy and keeping you from following through on your now clearly defined commitments. See tip 1, and put all of that on a don't do list. I know we like to have our cake and eat it too, but every time we say yes to something new, we have to say no or not as much to something else, or else our energy and attention is going to get stretched way too thin and we'll move closer and closer to burnout. So try to identify the time and joy thieves in your life and put them on a do not fly list. And then put this list somewhere you'll actually see it, a sticky note right on your computer screen. It's a small act, but it can have a huge impact on your focus and your productivity and your peace of mind. On a similar note, tip number 3, put up fences around your work and rest. Good fences make good neighbors, so the saying goes. And if you're anything like me, your work and home life share a driveway. It's easy to slip between these two spaces. And sometimes that's a nice thing. Other times, not so much. My office is right upstairs, so it's easy for me to kind of like hop back on my computer and try to take care of something real quick. And real quick ends up being a little bit longer than I planned. Or even if I'm physically with my family, mentally I might still be running numbers or planning next week's content. And that's not what I want to do. To avoid this, MJ recommends setting clear boundaries for when your workday starts and when your workday stops. And when it does stop, clock out and then clock in to your family time or your personal recharge time. It's easier said than done. So clearly define some rules and ask someone to help hold you accountable. A quick personal example, my wife and I started implementing a Friday family night. I mean, every night's family night, but on Fridays, we take an extra measure to go screen-free until the next afternoon. Phones go on the shelf, we keep the TV off, and we play some board games with the kids.
It's about the tones.
Just kind of relax, have a conversation, read a book in the evening instead. And I gotta say, it's really helped me switch gears and avoid letting work bleed into the weekend. And I feel a lot more rested. Consider what sort of simple rituals you can implement to help you transition from one side of the fence to the other. Speaking of rest, tip number 4, go to sleep. I don't know how much time I need to spend on this one. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I know I could use a reminder because I'm horrible at this. I know I just said I've been feeling more rested. That's on the weekend. The rest of the week, I'm turning on battery saver mode before lunchtime. I am dragging. I'm not as focused. It affects my productivity and a number of other things. There's a lot of information out there on just how important sleep is, and yet we still don't get enough. I don't know what it will take to convince us, but you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly running on caffeine and adrenaline, you're setting yourself up for burnout and other health issues. Along with getting more sleep, make sure you carve out a few small breaks throughout the day for a quick little mental recharge. Go for a walk, catch up with a friend for a few minutes on the phone, indulge in a funny cat video. Just take a break. Do something that makes you happy.
Treat yourself.
But try to keep these breaks short and structured so they don't turn into time wasters. But that's hard to do when you're dragging and you feel like you're in a cloud and all you have energy for is to scroll for a couple hours. So get more sleep. I'm just preaching to myself now. Now, before we move on to tip number 5, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Relay. Now, maybe I don't get as much sleep as I should, but when I do hit the sack, I sleep like a baby, knowing that my money is always exactly where it needs to be, because Relay's auto transfer rules and other features allow me to set my cash flow management on autopilot. Business owners can easily open multiple checking accounts with no fees or minimum balance requirements, and you can automatically divvy up your income into a tax account, an operating expense account, owner's pay account, Christmas bonus account, or whatever the heck else account you want to set up. But personally, I'd stick with the Profit First method recommendations. And their super simple web interface and mobile app gives you a clear view into your business cash at the press of a button. As a special offer for friends of Self-Employment Sidekick, if you sign up and fund an account using my link, sidekick.show/relay, Relay will send you a $100 welcome bonus. And if you sign up before December 31st, you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win a $25,000 cash giveaway presented by Relay and Profit First. So give yourself the gift of cash flow clarity this Christmas and a $100 stocking stuffer. Sign up today at sidekick.show/relay. That kind of rhyme, but that was unintentional. Finally, tip number 5, let go of perfection. This time of year is full of pressure to pick the perfect gifts, throw the perfect parties, deliver the perfect business results. But don't forget, done is better than perfect. Give yourself permission to drop the ball on a few things that don't matter that much. I guarantee you, nobody is going to notice half the things that are holding you back from pressing send. I'm not saying you should phone it in and do a sloppy job. Continue to hold yourself to a high standard, but let go of some of the unrealistic expectations you're heaping on yourself. And when you do let go of unrealistic expectations and perfectionism, you free your hands up to hold on to the things that truly matter. So those are 5 tips to help you avoid end of year and all the year burnout. Define your priorities with your family and friends. Make a don't-do list. Build fences, draw boundary lines between work and rest life. Prioritize sleep, and let go of perfection. I truly hope these tips help you have a slightly more enjoyable and peaceful holiday season and start the new year feeling refreshed instead of frazzled. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're looking for more ways and a worksheet to help keep your business aligned with your life goals, be sure to check out this video right here. It's all about making sure your work works for you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a Merry Christmas.